Okay, I'm going to go ahead and work this example with you now. Testing with distractions. Suppose you're designing an experiment to determine if students perform better on tests when there are no distractions, such as a teacher talking on the phone. It's ridiculous. If you have access to 2 classrooms and 30 volunteers who are willing to participate in your experiment, design an experiment so that 2 sample t-tests would be the appropriate inference method. So in this case, we're not going to have everybody take the test twice because this is going to be a 2 sample, right? So I'm just going to use poker chips for this, but there are a lot of ways you could design this. So if we say put 30 blue or red poker chips, 30, yeah. So like shake them up, like mix them up. You want to put the 30 blue and 30 red poker chips together and shake them up. Then you hand one to each volunteer. Oh shoot, I thought you could see all this. Okay, sorry. To each volunteer. Okay, hopefully you're getting this. I'll try to stay closer. Okay, sorry. Any volunteer with a blue chip is going to go to the first room, and any volunteer with the red chip will go to the second room. It doesn't matter, obviously, which one you do, but that's what I'm going to say. I'm writing it backwards of what I said. Okay, so we're going to do red chip. Sorry, red chip, group 1. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Then you just give everybody the same test, put the teacher talking on the phone in one room and the other room with no distractions, and then compare the scores, right? So let's just say the teacher's in room 1. All right, so room 1, teacher on the phone. Room 2, no distractions. Then at the end, we're just going to compare the scores. And that's it. Okay, so if we wanted to turn this into an experiment so that paired t-test would be appropriate, then we're basically going to start out the same way, but after they take the first test, we're, got to give them a break, a little brain break, whatever, add that in there. But then we're going to switch everybody, and they're going to get the other treatment. So the people who were, and we'll give like a slightly different test, but the same level of difficulty for the test. It just needs to be a different test since they obviously just took the first one. So we'll switch everybody. If they were in the quiet room with no distractions, they'll be in the room with the teacher talking, and vice versa. So a similar test. Oh, but switch them. Oh, okay, so this is important. And on that problem that was similar to this on the Chapter 9 test, sorry, I didn't say this part when I was explaining. You do need to calculate the difference in score. So I would say it probably make more sense to do no distractions versus teacher if we were actually performing the test. Again, because we want to see mostly positive values, it would just be easier. So we are going to have to calculate the difference in each person's score and then run a significance test comparing the mean difference to 0. So our H null would be that there was no change regardless of whether or not a teacher was talking on the phone in the room, right? Okay. So which experimental design is better? I think if we were doing this in class, you would probably all agree with me that the design we described in part B was going to be better. That's going to eliminate any variable, any confounding variable, any variability due to something like reading level or just prior knowledge, anything like that. And then your better design is going to give you more power. We talked about power a lot in Chapter 9.
Ash.
Reading level, prior knowledge, anything like that. Better design gives more power to your experiment. What's the purpose of random assignment in the experiment? We just need to make sure that, there's no, that like there's not any favorability due to going first or something like that, or maybe going second. Maybe they get warmed up on the first test and do better. Regardless, no treatment is favored by going first or second. So that could eliminate sources of variability like fatigue, if they got tired from the first test, other stuff like that, but just as an example. All right, so that finishes up our 10-2 notes. If you have questions on any of this, you can leave them in the comments or send me a message on Remind or email. Thank you.